Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 11, 2025, 9:07 a.m. In a little bit. Let's take a little bit. There you go. See the clock right up there? 7:30. So, it's Tuesday. No excuses. Get back to work. 26 million people called in sick yesterday. The most called out day in the American work year. Can you imagine? New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Nope. Super Bowl Monday. You know, you hear a lot of the news people saying, well, I wish it was a better game. It was a beautiful game. It's nice to have a decisive victory instead of these 2-point this way, 3-point that way, you know, these one-score games in which a referee's decision, might have decided the outcome. Not when it was 40-6, sometime in the third quarter, I think. Holy mackerel. Jeez. You got a 5-touchdown advanced lead. Now, they did end up with 22 points after, of course, that was after, the winning team was almost, I wouldn't say walked off the field, but, you were just counting the time out to end the game because it was a 18-point game. 2 minutes to go or something. So it was a decisive victory. I didn't have a dog in the race, so it didn't matter. Maryland was rooting for Kansas City. I actually lived in Kansas City for a year or so. We built 2 shopping centers, single-use retail warehouse. The Levitt's showroom concept, where you have 2/3 of the building is a warehouse and 1/3 of the building is a showroom selling washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, TVs. Back then it was tube TVs. The flat screen had not reared its ugly head yet. Console TVs, big furniture. Pecan, was it Sylvania with the pecan furniture? Oh my God, that was the bee's knees and TVs. Yeah. And those big console TVs where you had speakers on the left and speakers on the right. It's all one big, huge piece of furniture. 7 feet across and 2.5, 3 feet high. You lift open the top and you have a turntable in there, and big screen, 23-inch, big 23-inch diagonal color TV in the middle. Thing would retail out around $1,500 plus or minus, or maybe $1,900. And yep, Kansas City built a store in, let's see, Lenexa, Kansas, which is south of the city center. And then the other one was over on the east side of town. Oh boy, I can't remember. Independence? Yeah, Independence. Yeah. So there could be a reason for rooting for Kansas City. Matter of fact, I had gone to a Kansas City game when it was like it was like 17 degrees outside with a 30-mile-an-hour wind. It was one of the first games played in the Arrowhead Stadium, and this gentleman I knew had four tickets up there in the second level. This is like a 3-level stadium, and we were sitting there. There couldn't have been 50 people in the entire stadium, and we were in there. We had cut holes in the top of a trash can liner, stuck our head through it, so the wind wouldn't be able to get through the plastic bag. You'd dress as warm as you could. You're sitting in plastic bags in the stadium. And I said, after about 10 minutes of this, I said, I think it's time to go. Don't you think? Let's go to a local, what do you call it? Watch it on. Watch it in some eat-in bar or something or other, have a hot hamburger. I mean, no one was serving. The place was empty. I don't think any of the people in the concession showed up to work. It was like you open up your freezer and start walking around. That's what it was like in this huge stadium, brand new stadium, Arrowhead Stadium. You had to go. I said, oh God, okay, I'll go. So I was just updating my calendar. February 22nd at 8:45 p.m. February 22nd. It was the first time that I had a personal conversation with the then Marilyn Murray, yeah, from the International Department. We were finishing up a training seminar thing, and all week everybody stayed overnight in the Sheridan Rivergate, and I was looking up on the calendar to make sure that a February 22nd in 1980 was a Friday, and it was. That's how I was trying to figure whether it was February 19th or 22nd. It's the 22nd. Yeah. Because there is no Friday the 19th. In 1980. No. Nope. It was February 22, 2/22/80. Yep. And I walked her to her car at about midnight. Said, how about if I call you Monday morning? Maybe we'll have lunch. Want to have lunch? Sure. So I called her at, I'll call you at 10 to confirm a luncheon. Called her up at 10:01 a.m. and said, I will pick you up at 11:55 a.m. today, and we'll drive to the Charade. It's called Charade in Coral Gables. That was our first lunch date for two. Upstairs, table 74, I think. I said, see if you can get like an hour and a half, 2-hour lunch from your boss, McCluskey. Oh yeah, I'll be fine with that. I said, good. We don't want to be rushed. And we did. We had a delightful lunch for two. 22nd, 23rd. That would be the 25th. Yep, that was the beginning of the beginning for Marilyn and Jimmy at Royal Trust Bank of Miami. Yep, oh boy. We became an instant item. Bob Curtis says, so how was lunch? I said, Bob, I think Jimmy and Marilyn are an item. He says, an item? What's that? Generational gap thing there. Yep, and almost 45 years later, in 11 days, it's going to be 45 years later. Here we are, we're still same place, same time. 45 years later. Wow. Whew. How nice. And we have a Valentine's Day is coming up Friday. So don't forget, call in your flower reservations today or tomorrow. There we go. So, yeah, there's Mahomes. What's next for Kansas City after Super Bowl? 59. Roman numeral LIX. L is 50. The 1 is in front of the X. That means you take it away. 10 minus 1 is 9. 59. That's how you read the Roman numerals, in case you weren't sure. Trump says, let all hell break out. After this whole Hamas, Gaza ceasefire and everything. You got till noon on Saturday. And then the you know what is going to hit the fan. You remember that the Trump administration sent out letters, several million letters out to government workers up and down the hell rolls of Washington, D.C. with the idea of You can resign now, and we'll pay you right up through September 30. All benefits. And there were 65,000 people that, as of last night, I guess, or this morning, sent in the words resign in the subject line of the return email. Just type the word resign, and they'll take care of the rest. Rules, regulations, standards, policies, compliance. There you go. There's the inner workings of the Washington clock. You've heard of chips, right? Well, the way the chips are architectured, they're basically, see, there's a chip. This whole rectangle. And you break out each little piece. And that is your multi-layered solid state chip that gets embedded in a piece of plastic with leads attached, and then they plug it in to a circuit board. This is a large piece, of course. But there are, hundreds, many hundreds, maybe 5, 6, 7, 800, I don't know. On a CD-ROM. They're cut into a CD-ROM layer. I mean, the blueprints are like this big. Huge. 36 by 24. Computer-aided design. And each page is a layer. They carve out surface-mounted device. Transistors. Typical chip that goes into a MacBook Pro, like this I'm tapping right now, or an iPad, has like 4 or 5 billion transistors. It's counted. They do count. They do count them. It could be 15 billion. It's a lot of little things where the current either goes through or it doesn't go through, depending on whether this is a positive electrical field or a negative electrical field on the base of the transistor. Here's an interesting factoid. Look at the price of gold in 1 year. It's gone up $887 an ounce. 43% rise in the price of gold, a precious metal. Think you're happy with 2 or 3% interest rate? How about 43% with the price of gold? At the beginning of the year, 12 months ago, the price of gold was $2,000. Now it's $2,900. $900 interest rate on $2,000. That's one hell of a return. I tried to get people I know real well buy gold when it was $1,850 an ounce. That would have been almost a 50% return on your money. you put 100 in and you got 150 out. Oh, God. Whew. End of an heiress. Yep. The old Taylor Swift and the Kansas City romance is bleeped off the charts after she went political. Said, I think Travis Kelce. Yeah. Who the hell cares? You care a whole lot less. Right after she said, oh, I think Kamala would be a much better president. Oh, really? That's when it became eminently obvious that these Hollywood types don't have any business getting involved in politics. Keep singing, sweetie. Don't tell us your politics. Not many care, except for your immediate family, maybe. Trump says, what is this, something I said? Someone came out with a statistic this morning, whereas a year ago this time, 8,000 interdictions occurred, where the Biden administration officials took the names and numbers of the people crossing the border. That's some secure border. We just take your name and number. Even if you wanted for triple murder, we'll let you loose into society. Forget about put you in jail or rejecting it. Yeah, oh no. You have rights. You don't have squat. You're not a citizen. You have no rights. Democrats have been trying to get the illegals to vote. Can you imagine in New York State? How stupid are those people? But politically, it's pretty devious. They're just trying to up the population count so they get more House of Representative people. Since people are flocking to Florida, maybe they can count the illegals.
It's 9:30.
The millions of illegals that have jumped into the United States and hanging out in luxury hotels in Manhattan. Can you imagine? Well, people in North Carolina are freezing and starving with the hurricanes that went through there and the floodwaters. And the Elon Musk the Department of Dolch found that it was supposed to be a $50 million check go to Manhattan so they can pay for all these luxury apartments. Get them out. We got our military people sleeping out in the cold streets of Manhattan, and the illegals got fancy hotel rooms. Gosh, that's terrible. So we have a dinner out with the Morrises on Thursday. And then you have Valentine's Day on Friday. And then next Friday, Marilyn and I have our 45th, not wedding anniversary, our anniversary of being a couple. Hey, look at these guys, yeah. Hamas militants. Walking around with our machine guns, probably. Just paging through all these headlines of yesterday, of last week. Oh God, this is the people seeing the hostages getting released. Trump says, "Forget this onesie twosies. They all get out by Saturday, or else you'll have hell to pay." Going through the countdown. So here you have AI. Oops. What have I done? I keep diddling with this. There's a trackpad right here. And if my arm falls over here and touches this, it turns off parts of my screen. Sorry to say. And I'm looking at this screen, not this screen. I'm looking at this screen. Boeing has informed its employees, as required by the federal regulations, that within, I think it's 45 days, you got to give the base of employees 45 days notice if there's going to be some possible major changes in headcount. And Boeing has informed its employees that NASA may cancel SLS contracts. You say, why is that? Well, because Boeing they were 2 years late in launching, the competitive space capsule to the Dragon. SpaceX space capsule, who both received contracts to resupply the International Space Station, which means take up supplies, bring back trash. Not supposed to. You don't want to dump trash out in outer space, because outer space isn't that much outer, and everything floating around in circles around planet Earth is traveling at some 18,000 miles per hour. So you'd hate to get up there 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, and stick your head out the proverbial window and get slapped in the face with an old piece of pumpkin pie that's traveling at 18,000 miles an hour. Bam! That's a slap in the face. Yeah. So we take our trash back. Yeah. There's a recent picture of Kino, our boy cat, on the left side and the right side, or ribs, to the sliding glass doors, which I think I will take out of the frame, because who cares that that's a sliding glass door. There we go. There you go. Now we have an unobscured view of adjust. Let's brighten that up a little bit, which didn't seem to. Oh, there we go. How about a little more color? How about a little more? Intensify the black. Intensify the eyes. There we go. That's better. The pink nose, characteristic of our little boy cat. Our little boy cat, that's around 19 pounds. Yeah. Yep, there's the NATO round, they call it. Big cartridge, stuffed with gunpowder, and a little tiny bullet that whizzed by Trump's head, almost taking him out. Oh, God, what a mess that would have been. So we get some more. Here's Pam Bondi, former Attorney General for Florida, is now Attorney General of the United States of America. Good for her. She's a tough cookie. Got a new scooter for old Brennan. His last one got, I think, water damaged. Put it together Super Bowl Sunday afternoon. Picked it up Sunday evening, rode it home. Went 400 hours to fix a 1-year-old scooter that had 2,000 miles on it. $539, just get a new one. That's what we did. So they're beating up on old Elon Musk. He's our new demon in the eyes of the Democrats. Oh, yeah. You know, Trump, as the senior executive, as president of the United States, is certainly allowed to look over the shoulders of how money is being spent in Washington, D.C. Yes. Congress makes laws, but the executive office essentially is responsible for implementing the laws and overseeing how the laws are being implemented. And he can engage, hire, or otherwise anyone he sees fit to take a look at how the spending is going on. And of course, the Democrats are like up in arms, like there's something not legal about that. And you know, of course, there's always a judge somewhere. They'll say, "Oh yeah, let's take a look at that." Well, every legal expert that has been on any fair and balanced TV channel will tell you that those are just delay tactics. Oh yeah, let's just delay Trump as much as possible, because what the hell, we may save some money. They can't have that. No, the Democrats don't want to save any money. Spend it. In fact, hurry up and spend it before the Republicans make it so you can't spend it. It's ridiculous. That's the United States of America. That's called a proof coin. See the mirror-like finish of the background. And this is the Smithsonian commemorative coin of anyway, it's sitting on this thing's like a microphone doodad. I have it filled up. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yeah. So you can see the other side of the Smithsonian coin here. It's not in fine focus, but you can get an idea of the mirror finish of a proof coin. The background is brilliant reflection. All right, we'll put that, just squeeze that back on there. Liberty. This is 1846 to 1996. To make that a 150-year-old coin, or commemorative, celebrating 150 years of the Smithsonian. Not bad, huh? There's our little cat. How about that for a face? Got a little white chin. Chinny chin chin. Boeing has informed its employees. Watch out. Well, they were 2 years late in firing off this guy. And then this little capsule thing on the top, it sprung like 5 helium leaks just when it was trying to dock. Matter of fact, the exercise in joining this little capsule to this huge International Space Station, they made it back away. It took them 2 tries to get close enough to where they would dock. So then they finally docked with several leaks, and then they were investigating to see if this is airworthy, if you will, to get back to Earth. They agonized over it for a period of time and said, you know what, we better return this thing empty. Do we really want to put 2 of our astronauts at risk with something that's leaking like a sieve? So that's what they did. So it landed back in the, I don't know which ocean. But it did arrive safely. So now, on the next SpaceX launch, which should be coming up at the end of this month, that Dragon capsule is the one that'll be used to return the 2 astronauts that were somewhat marooned in the International Space Station, sharing supplies. Yeah. All right. So, flu cases, 24 million cases of the flu, 13,000 deaths so far, 310,000 hospitalized with this season's flu season. Yeah. And you can see this graph here. flu season is peaking right now. I'm just getting over, I don't know whether I had flu or what, but 2 or 3 times a year I get this upper respiratory, flu-y symptom. Can't tell whether it's a flu or a bacteriophage. But after about 3, I went to the doctor on, I got my meds Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, Sunday, Monday. So 3.5 days worth of taking the meds, and I'm almost fully reconditioned. 2 more days and then I'll stop taking the pills. No sense of taking them any longer than you have to. All right, it's a slow news day. So, I'm going to cut a little short today. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow morning, first thing. Somewhere between 9 and 9:15, depending on technology issues like internet connectivity, which every once in a while, the morning hasn't been kind to me technology-wise. A couple of days last week I couldn't get on until like 10 or so. Sorry for it's not exactly, this is the backbone of the network here at the 8th floor of Royal Palm Place at 101 Plaza Real South. Yes, 8 stories above Chops, the legendary Chops, which has been here like 18 years or so. So you all have a good rest of your morning, and I'm going to check out. I think I'm going to have a little spaghetti with what do you call it? Mushroom gravy sauce on it. Sounds good to me, huh?